In this video, I'll be speaking about Angi Leads, and I actually already made 2 videos related to Angi Leads. So in this video, I kind of want to sum up both of those topics and give you a really solid Angi Leads review so that you can better understand the pros and cons of using Angi Leads, and so that you can make an educated decision on whether you should or shouldn't use Angi Leads. Delicious. I didn't put any sugar in this. So if you're thinking about using Angi Leads, then definitely check out my video on how to use Angi Leads effectively. Or if you're concerned about using Angi Leads, then definitely check out this other video. So the question that everybody wants to answer is, can you use Angi Leads effectively for your company? Can you get leads from Angi Leads? Well, the obvious answer is that yes, you can. And a lot of contractors use Angi Leads effectively. But this platform can be tricky, like many other lead reselling platforms. You can easily lose a bunch of money if you're not careful, and you can easily get a lot of low quality leads that you can't really convert into real customers, so you need to watch out for these things. So in order to better understand why the lead quality can sometimes be really bad, or to better understand why some of these issues arise when it comes to using Angi Leads and similar platforms, we need to better understand how does Angi Leads and these similar lead reselling platforms find all these leads. So as you probably already know, a lot of people already know about Angi Leads, and a lot of people will just go to Angi Leads website to find these contractors that they need. This is a huge national company that everybody kind of knows, so some people that are looking for quotes will go to these kind of websites to find those contractors. But a lot of people will not go straight to Angi Leads. A lot of people will just search for the services that they need on Google. You will find a lot of different companies from your local area that provide those services, but you will also find a lot of these lead resellers. So the way these lead resellers like Angi Leads get these leads and they sell them to you is by showing up on Google when people search for your services. They frequently show up on Google organically, but they also advertise as well. The reason why this is a problem is because they basically compete with these local businesses. They do literally the same thing that these local businesses are doing to get leads. But when somebody searches for local companies, instead of actually seeing the websites of those local companies and listings of those local companies, they go to these kind of websites that basically act as middlemen, where they capture their information and then they sell that information to these businesses for a price, of course. Now, this is a problem because these kind of websites like Angi Leads actually compete with local businesses. And if there weren't sites like Angi Leads, then it would be a lot easier for people to find local contractors without going to a middleman like Angi Leads. I'm not saying that the mere existence of sites like Angi Leads is a problem, because I'm sure that a lot of contractors benefit from it. But that is an undeniable fact that these kind of websites have to compete with local businesses to capture these leads before they see these local sites, so that then they can use that contact information to sell it to these businesses for a price. I'm not against that at all. Like, if you can use Angi Leads effectively, then please do that. But you gotta understand that when you're paying sites like Angi Leads, you're basically paying them to compete with your business as well. So this is true when it comes to Google ads and when it comes to organic search results. But these kind of websites, and this is really important, these kind of websites can't have a Google business listing. Only local companies can have a Google business listing, and these listings always show up above organic search results. So if you are a local company that's trying to show up when people search for your services, which is a great place to show up to get a lot of high quality leads, you need to focus on your Google business listing. And Google business listing is absolutely free. Of course, you need to do some other things as well in order to show up high. That's basically what my company does. I've been in this business for half a decade. If you want to see more, go to the link in the description below. I'll be happy to take a look at your website and give you my thoughts. So if you're a local company that's trying to show up when people search for your services, you need to focus on your Google business listing. But you can show up on Google for free. You can create a Google business listing for free. You can get a lot of reviews for free. You can have a basic website. You can still get some really good results. Another important thing that we need to cover in this Angi Leads review is the fact that you are not the only guy that's receiving those leads. When somebody goes to Angi Leads and they fill out that form, you won't be the only person that receives those leads. Now, this is a problem. First of all, if you don't call those leads immediately, then it will be a lot harder for you to close those leads, because these leads can only speak to so many people, and if 3 people called them before you did, then it will be a lot more difficult for you to close these leads, of course. But another problem with them reselling these leads is the fact that whether you like it or not, this forces you to compete on the price. And this is a huge problem, because if you are a contractor that's trying to focus on the quality of your services, and if you're trying to provide the best service, of course, you will have to charge a higher price. But for somebody who is just speaking to a lot of different contractors, they can't see the difference between your company and all these different companies and all that immediately. So it forces you to compete on a price. Now, competing on a price isn't necessarily a problem for these more affordable services, but it's a huge problem for these more expensive services. If somebody is looking to get their kitchen remodeling project done, they don't want to get screwed over on a price. And if they speak to 5 different contractors that told them a lower price than you did, it will look as if you are trying to screw them over, even though they don't actually understand exactly what goes into the cost of remodeling the kitchen. So you kind of immediately lose the leverage as soon as you speak to this lead. Meanwhile, if somebody goes to Google and they search for your services and they go to your website and they see all this information about your company, all these beautiful projects you completed in the past, and then they contact your company, you have the leverage because they contacted you. They want to work with you. Meanwhile, when they go to sites like Angi Leads and they fill out the form, they're just looking to get more information. A lot of those leads are still in the research process and they fill out the form just to see more contractors and stuff. They don't even know that they'll be called by a bunch of contractors immediately. So you kind of immediately lose the leverage as soon as you start speaking to this new lead. In my opinion, Angi Leads can be excellent for these companies that use more affordable services. Or if you are a new contractor that is just trying to keep yourself busy or start doing some work and all of that. It also depends on a lot of outside factors. In some areas it works really well, in other areas it doesn't. But if you're a seasoned contractor that is trying to get more of these high quality jobs, then I just don't think that Angi Leads is the best place for you to be. Also, when you build your reputation on Angi Leads, it's a lot easier to get better leads. But this is a problem because the more time and more attention you dedicate to Angi Leads, of course, it will be easier for you to get more leads on Angi Leads. But this makes you even more dependent on this platform. Meanwhile, if you focused all of that attention on building your Google business listing, getting reviews there, you would get leads independently of any one of these platforms. If you're trying to use Angi Leads effectively, then you should definitely watch my video on how to use Angi Leads effectively, how to make it profitable for your own company. It's this video right here. You can find it on my channel. But here are a few tips on what you should do if you're trying to get more leads with Angi Leads. The first one is to call these leads immediately. As soon as you get a new lead, try to call it immediately. Because if you are the first person that they speak to, you have the highest chance of leaving a positive impression and you have the highest chance of closing that lead. Also, definitely try to follow up as much as you possibly can. And this is something that a lot of contractors don't do. And if you do that, then you definitely have a much higher chance of closing that lead. And the third one is to improve your phone skills. Because if you suck on the phone, then even if people contacted you because they want to work with you specifically, then it will still be pretty difficult for you to close that lead. So don't let yourself be in that position. But obviously, if you're a new business owner, it will take some time for you to get used to everything and all of that. But try to use each lead as much as you possibly can. But anyway, I really hope this video has been helpful. I try to give you some concise information about Angi Leads and all that stuff. If you have any questions, then please leave a comment. Also, if you want to work with me and my team, or if you just want me to take a look at your website, then go to logicalmarketer.net. I'll leave a link in the description. Thank you for watching this video and definitely subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of content. Have a great day.